I want this to be good for everyone. I want everyone to interact. If you've got any questions as we go along, please just shout out, because at the end of the day, you're here to learn, find out a bit more about what I know. And if there's something I missed or haven't explained properly, then please just let me know. So I'm going to have a little bit of a background on what's been happening so far. So back in 2006, we had a revision to Part L. Everyone should be very familiar with this now. SAP 2005, we were looking at basically you had your target dwelling emission rate and you had to get lower than that to pass. Quite surprisingly, we've still got quite a lot of sites going through under SAP 2005, so it just shows you that it takes quite a long time for the industry to catch up. It doesn't seem like that long ago that I was stood here talking to everyone about SAP 2009, but that now is something that obviously anything now that's being registered under building control is being assessed under SAP 2009. That represented a 25% improvement on 2006. And you should all be quite familiar with the fact that we were then looking at insulating party walls, a lot more focus on thermal bridging, fabric first approach, and also we had this fabric energy efficiency come in, which was quite closely related to the new version of the code, which was in November 2010. And now we're going towards SAP 2012, Building Regs 2013, and the target now has increased a further 6% since 2010, which represents about 31% improvement since 2006. The government sort of pulled this back slightly. We were hoping to see about 44% improvement, but based on what Paul said, they're trying to push a bit further forward without making it too hard for house builders. So Part L has been delayed from this April to next April, so D-Day now is 6th of April 2014, and as Paul said, that basically leaves about 5 months to get the software sorted, get our heads around it before it actually comes into effect. I know that Paul has seen a copy of the approved documents, but officially the approved documents for April 2014 haven't been released. They were due mid-October, and we still haven't seen them. And I was also hoping to show you a bit of the beta software that the BRE have been producing, which is called CSAP. But unfortunately, we're still waiting for this, and we're still waiting for this. So what I'm going to do is I will take you through a few examples of SAP 2012 later on, but I think I'm going to do quite a little bit more work on it when the CSAP is released. I'm hoping within the next 2 weeks. So I'll send out a bit of a secondary presentation which should give a bit more detail about different scenarios with that, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And moving even further forward, Paul also talks about this, obviously going to zero carbon in 2016. Andy, my colleague, is going to be taking through a lot more detail of that later, so I'll leave that part and just concentrate on 2013.
Both of my presentations, this one and the second one, are to do with the consultations which were just closed a couple of weeks ago. So obviously this has gone into consultation, so please don't shoot me when it actually comes out and it's changed slightly. But anyway, let's see what they're promising, or what was in the core elements within the consultation documents, how we're going to deliver zero carbon. So a quick recap of what we're actually trying to do. As Ellen was talking about before, we're on this roadmap to zero carbon. So back in 2006, the Labour government defined this zero carbon requirement, what Paul also indicated as well. And it's in statute with the EU as well. So it's not just a British desire, a UK desire, it's a European desire. So we developed this roadmap, defined the timing, 2016, which is only 3 years away, or less than that now. And obviously, at the same time, had to look at a tool which was going to define what this measure was, and they said it's going to be Part L, and within that SAP, the calculation tool. So why do we need allowable solutions? For all the work we've done ourselves in the industry, the SAP industry, it's become quite clear that to get to zero carbon, to remove all those emissions from a dwelling, even just the regulated emissions, can't be achieved on site. Okay, you can't fit enough PV on most roofs to deliver you zero carbon. So the government actually finally understood this, so invented this new tool. So this is the statement which they announced. where a house builder can deliver ambitious carbon saving targets on site, they'll have the option to do so. And where this is not cost effective, the government will ensure that there is a cost effective mechanism to deliver carbon saving targets off site at a cost no higher than the government's long term carbon value. That's just a straightforward question. That's easy, isn't it? So that's all we need to do. So basically, how are they proposing this would work? Some guys in the room may have been familiar with trying to build some schemes in Ashford, and they do something similar to this already. The planners in Ashford will expect a carbon fee for anything that can't be mitigated on site. So how will the allowable solutions work? So first of all, the developer will be expected to purchase carbon savings, okay, that's related to that development.